Hey, welcome back to the DMZ America podcast for Wednesday, November 15th, 2023. I'm Ted Rall coming to you from the left.
And I'm Scott Stantis, moving into Ted Rall occupied territory from the right.
So we only have a short amount of time for, a topic that I don't think will require a lot of time to unpack.
No.
So we have,
I'm laughing already. Sorry.
The new House Speaker, Mike Johnson, he
Republican of Jesus Christ.
Yes, he was considered extremely feral, far right, terrifying. Just the kind of guy for whom calling his wife mother would be too hot. So from the ass end of the swamps of Louisiana. So anyway, the people like me were terrified of this guy. He's completely against all abortion rights, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, turns out we were facing a possible budget government shutdown in a couple of days. And surprisingly, with a few days to spare, he did exactly what right-wing crazy nutjob Republicans do not do these days. He reached out to the Democrats and said, please help. And the Democrats were like, all right. And so they passed a bill to avoid the shutdown. The Senate seems clear that they either have already approved it or that they're going to. Looks like the White House, the president will sign the bill. So the full faith and credit of the United States government is still good for until January, I guess it is.
Or February. It's a two-tiered system. It's a two-tiered plan, yes. Which is hilarious because, Ted, what it is we're going to kick one can down the road until January. We're going to kick the other can until February.
Because there's two different cans.
Yes.
Look at those cans. All right. So what?
Yes.
So my interpretation of this is a good look for Republicans. They look like they can govern. They look like they can work in a bipartisan way. I was telling Angie on my other show that I imagined seeing rainbows and unicorns and peace doves cooing and cats lying down with voles and all good things happening. But obviously there's disgruntlement among Republicans.
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh my gosh, I was wondering.
Is he doomed? Is he doomed? He's going to.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
He's going to get McCarthy'd
because they haven't changed that rule, right? One member can bring out a get out of the seat order. I'm dying to know Angie, who's a MAGA gal. She describes herself that way. What did she think of this?
Oh, she was hating it. She was like, it made her skin crawl. She was like, this is bad. It's horrible. They should have held the line, let the government shut down. I mean, what would you have done if you were Mike? If you were, God forbid, had the only six-figure job in America that I would not want, be Speaker of the House, to try to unify the Republican conference at this time? I actually would never want that job. It's not my kind of job.
I would do exactly what he did. Listen, he's doing this because,
but he knows he's going to get fucked over.
Yes, but there's a very practical reason. I think it sells well to most of his caucus, and that is what we've had over the years is this crisis coming into the holiday season, and they spend Christmas, trying to not have or manage government shutdown. He wanted to avoid that. It gives them a little time to negotiate and see what they can or cannot do. I think it's a smart move, and it's a move you or I would have done because it's smart. It's how you govern. But the Freedom Caucus is losing its shit, Ted. I mean, your friend Angie and others are just going, how does he? To use another reference from something totally unrelated. It's an interesting move. This is a guy who was asked. He's a regular on some Republican Christian radio show or television show. I don't know what the hell it is, Ted. And he'll say, if you want to know what Mike Johnson thinks about something, pick up a Bible and read it. And it's like, yeah, which is like, oh, so you're willing to welcome the visitor and the stranger, as Christ said you're supposed to do. How many coats do you?
Or maybe stab your firstborn son to death.
Well, that's the Old Testament. I'm looking New Testament. I mean, does Mike Johnson have one coat? Because Jesus said, if you have two, give one of them away. Does he hate rich people? Because Jesus hated rich people.
In Louisiana, you don't need one coat. It's always like 105 degrees.
Well, there's that. And with added humidity. So is this a smart move on his part? It's a smart move in terms of this is an adult. Let me put it this way. It's an adult move. Okay. I mean,
well,
this is what
that's not
Speaker
a
Ted would
phrase
do
that
it.
you hear in typically used
No.
to describe the Republicans or really the House of Representatives anymore. I mean, this is the same House of Representatives that had a shoving match yesterday in the hallway where Kevin McCarthy allegedly elbowed a fellow congressman in the kidney as he passed by, and an NPR reporter saw him do it. And then at the same time, I know this is on the Senate side, Bernie Sanders had to stop one of his fellow senators from getting into fisticuffs with the head of the Teamsters union. I forget which one was going to took their ring off in preparation to wallop him. And Bernie Sanders said, "Sit down. You're a United States senator."
Yeah. We've drifted into waters that are like, who was it? Was it Sumter? Yeah, Sumter beat the shit out of some other.
No, Sumter was the one. He was the BT.
Oh, was he the BD? Who beat him? Who beat him?
Some congressman,
Southerner, right? Because Sumter had the temerity to wail against slavery, and
also he was extremely effective as a speaker and like really like snarky and mean about the and he said that basically that the Southern senators had a harlot and were in bed with their harlot named slavery.
Well, so not untrue.
1856. So Sumner was assaulted by an angry Southern congressman who took umbrage and said that his home state of, I believe, South Carolina had been insulted. And so he beat the shit out of him with his cane.
Oh yeah, no, nearly
killed him.
Nearly killed him.
But he did. Ironically, he was dead. The assailant was dead a year later. But Sumner lived 17 more years.
I didn't know that. I did not know that. Well, listen, I gotta go and do stuff. So
you go do stuff.
I'm gonna go do stuff. I'm sorry to cut this. So Ted, where can we see
hi to God
Ted?
And therefore Mike Johnson? You can find my stuff at whowhatwhy.org on Saturdays. You can go to Rumble, where you can find my radio show with Angie Wong, The Final Countdown. And you can go to raw.com and probably other stuff, but we're in a hurry. How about you?
You can go to gocomics.com/Scott Stantis. You can go to gocomics.com/Prickly City and see my comic strip. You can go to chicagotribune.com opinion and see a gallery of the work I do for them. I have a big announcement coming up shortly. I'll make it on this podcast, so stay tuned. Also, Ted and I can be heard on Center Clip, short podcast, 30 seconds to 5 minutes long, and it's really cool. And we kind of get into it today. We disagree. But you will notice that neither of us really like yelled, screamed, called the other one a name or anything. Just throwing it out there. Yeah, when he's not around. Actually, Ted appeared. He did a Zoom appearance the other night out to my class at University of Alabama at Birmingham. He was just great. So
that was fun. Yeah, with Lalo Alcaraz, our brilliant, extremely talented Hollywood colleague.
Yes, he's very Hollywood now. He's so but it's lovely.
Like, look at me, I'm so cool. And it's he is.
Because he's talking about hanging out with like all these, A-listers. And
when like Tom Hanks was over taking out my garbage. I was like, Tom, double bag that. You're dripping on the linoleum.
All right, brother. So next time?
Indeed.
Peace.
Next time. All right. Bye, Scott. Go do good stuff. Enjoy.
Thanks.